with the floaty tanks? Thoughts from the bike. All I want's a standing desk and a MacBook. Good morning, Trainiacs. It's been 2 days since I've been here in the pool, and I don't know if you know this, but I've been swimming a fair bit lately. What? Taren, really? You swimming lately? What? In the pool? With the floaty tanks? Never heard of that. Yeah, it's true. I've been swimming a fair bit. Anyway, that 2 days in the pool feels like I've been away for weeks. So I know that Pat has to be out of here at an hour and a half from now, so we don't have a massive swim. I'm gonna do maybe a couple hours today. But if I know Pat, and I think I do, that means that he's gonna be kind of ruthless with this workout. You gonna get sciencey later today?
I might be getting sciencey all day tomorrow.
You're gonna be in sciencey mode tomorrow too. Whew, that wasn't the worst. Handled that. And apparently Pat's getting sciencey. Thank you, bunk breaker. Something that I've seen a little bit of lately are articles along the lines of like, should triathletes worry about the other strokes? So we're talking about like freestyle, but back, breast, even fly, skull, double arm back, elementary backstroke, breaststroke with a flutter kick, all those different strokes other than what triathletes do, freestyle with a wetsuit in open water. And even though a lot of the articles out there are like, well, maybe you might want to learn the other strokes, you don't necessarily have to, it's not a must, only if you want to. My answer to that is like an emphatic hell yes. Let me explain from the bike. Oh, this gets to be an episode of Thoughts from the Bike. Okay, let's start this off by considering a couple of things. Number one, most triathletes do not come from a swimming background. Number two, I know for a fact that most triathletes are not very comfortable in the water. Now, given those two, you are so dirty these days. It's important for triathletes to develop a comfort in the water and a feel for the water because they haven't grown up swimming and just developing that comfort naturally without having to think about it. And you see people who swam as kids just flying through the water even later in life because they have that innate touch for the water. So, as new triathletes in your first few seasons of getting into triathlon and developing comfort in the water, you can really benefit from being put into positions where you have to feel out the water and you don't have to think about nothing but one technique, i.e. freestyle. Forcing yourself to learn all the other strokes, free, back, breast, fly, doing things like skull, and weird swim drills, it forces you to develop a feel for the water, learn your catch, learn your balance, learn how to move from one side to the other and make your way through the water however you need to. It develops that comfort, and then that comfort translates over to your freestyle technique because all of a sudden your body awareness in the water is a lot better. In addition to that, you end up getting a safety stroke. I guarantee you that at some point in one of your first few triathlons, you're gonna have a freak out session. And if you know how to deal with that by either flipping onto your back, just settling into a different rhythm, and you just are more comfortable in the water overall, odds are you're gonna be able to get through that session and get back into the swim. So yes, I believe that it is critical that all triathletes, as they're starting in the sport, at least pay some attention to the other strokes. And thus concludes another episode of Thoughts from the Bike. I'm gonna go ahead and put you away now. Oh, before I put you away, this is fun. This brave little devil survived the entire weekend at the pool by itself. I left him there Friday morning. It's a real fighter. It's gonna go a long way in life. All right, now I put you away. For those of you Trainiacs who aren't aware, last year in September, I started a social media ad agency called Post. And I've done a couple of office tours, little tidbits that you get to see around, but today was a super busy day because we basically tore apart the entire office and rebuilt it because we've had a couple people leave and we want to have a little nicer office setup. And you are still dirty from this morning. So if you've seen previous office tours, this area that you entered into right off the hallway was the workspace. All down here, all along that wall was working desks. This is where we store all of our gear, and that hasn't changed. But what I wanted to do, because there's only 2 of us instead of 4 of us now, is I wanted this area to be a little bit more client friendly. So we've got a meeting area here, and this whole area right here that I'm standing in is going to be built into a meeting lounge with clients, and we'll throw this big whiteboard up there. So this will be like big time brainstorming, super smart things going on. Take you into the back. Now these 2 rooms in behind me here and here are our shooting studios. Back here is our green, white, and black screen. So in here is where we do a lot of videos with people standing, talking to the camera. Check this out. We're gonna go from really drab and dull right now to 3, 2, 1, bam! I wired it up this morning that in one light switch we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights that go on instantly. And tomorrow there's gonna be like a super hunky dude in a suit that's like, okay, let's go in here. Now this room you might be a little bit more familiar with. If anyone who's been around for a while, you'll remember brick background. And then back here is where we do a bunch of product shots for things like shoes and watch reviews. It all gets lit up with these all around here. And then we get that really nice, crispy white, infinite white background. There's no shadows when there's lights on. Nothing much has really changed in here, but over here is where things have really changed. So this back here used to be like our lounge area, had a couple beanbag chairs, we got a big screen TV right here, but because we all needed the space, because there were 4 of us, we had to sit out in the dark, dingy storage area basically, and all this nice natural light went totally unused. Now, Mel and I have a corner office with a view. So you might be wondering to yourself, well, Taren, how's business going? Let me tell you. Well, like any new business goes, we're having some challenges, but fortunately they aren't financial challenges, they aren't getting clients challenges. Our biggest challenge in Winnipeg is that social media isn't really a thing here yet. And here we are offering social media services. So the product market fit has been a learning curve. What we were doing up till this point is people were outsourcing their social media completely to us. And what we quickly found is that that's like outsourcing your personality. You just can't do it. What we're going more towards is to train people and companies to have social media done internally, and we'll work on the strategy. And if they want to do any really big, sexy, like highly targeted custom video campaigns, then they can bring us in. But for the day-to-day, we're gonna try to teach them how to fish instead of giving them a fish. Wise words to end a vlog on. I'll see you tomorrow, Trainiacs. Oh, and by the way, funny story, I have been out in the workforce for probably worked 15 years now, some sort of capacity. Still haven't had an office. Don't want one. All I want's a standing desk and a MacBook. I'm good.